So they're like first gen over there.
Well, no, my mum is Welsh.
Oh, your mum's Welsh. Oh, okay.
Dad's first generation.
Italian.
Yeah. His parents are Italian.
Oh, wow. You're listening to Guitar Talk with Will Musig. Hello and welcome to Guitar Talk. Tonight we've got Dom Italiano joining us in the studio.
Hi.
Welcome, Dom.
Thanks.
And we've got Pino.
fun.
We've got Pino doing sound and lighting
And Lolly.
and Lolly distribution.
Yeah.
Man,
Will,
he's spoiling us.
Will, I like the title of producer.
Producer.
Producer, thank you.
Will's producing diabetes here tonight.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
So
right.
now, Dom,
Yes.
let's talk about how you got in contact with me and how we how long we've known each other.
How long have we known
About
each other?
20 minutes.
15 minutes?
15, 20 minits, yeah.
Feels like
Eternity, doesn't it?
35.
I'm sorry about doing that.
No, I love it. I'm breaking things everywhere here. I saw some of your stuff and also the other muso shows you've done.
Yep.
And I saw Aaron's show a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know Aaron, but I know Aaron.
Yeah.
Because it's like that scene
it's
where
the Facebook's thing.
everyone knows
Yeah.
each other. And
Yeah.
but the thing is, I don't know if this is Guitar Talk, so if any guitar players are watching, you would know that all these guitar players know each other, but
Yep.
we've never met
Exactly.
properly, because if you're a guitar player, you get hired to be the guitar player, so you don't meet other guitar players.
Exactly.
You meet singers and bass players and drummers all the time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our platform so we can meet
I love it.
and chat.
Yeah.
And
Actually, Will, the white thick envelope that he passed over helped too, didn't it?
This will soon. I imagine within a couple of months.
they
there'll
had
be-
raffle tickets in there that were from 5 years ago or something.
I imagine eventually there'll be 7 or 8 guitar players in the room at once. It's like, hi mate, my name's Dom. I'm a guitar player. And it'd be like, this is our 12-step program.
Guitar Players Anonymous.
Yeah. Yeah, or synonymous. Yeah. I'd be very cute. Yeah, I like it. It's really nice to meet you. I never thought I'd meet another guitar player who understands me.
Now let's go back to I asked this to everyone.
Mhm.
Let's go back to the beginning of when you started. Well, let's talk about your background because your name is Dom Italiano.
Mm-hmm.
So you've
Giuseppe
obviously
Italiano.
Giuseppe.
Oh,
welcome
to
He's a Giuseppe, Jay.
Do you know how much Italian I know how to speak?
How much?
Not much. Like,
that's
like-
it.
You
Yeah.
know how to say Giuseppe
Yeah.
Italiano,
Do you
and
know
that's it.
I failed Italian year 9.
Really?
Yeah, I had this. I'm sure she was a nice lady, but she was horrified that I had the name that I had and that I hadn't been brought up speaking Italian because we were,
Yeah.
my dad speaks Italian, but he's Welsh as well. So
Yeah.
my dad looks like he's in the mafia, right? And yet he says, "Hello, you like a cup of tea?" Like that's like he's got this Welsh accent. So we just like we weren't brought up Italian or in any way whatsoever. And this teacher was so just incredulous that I couldn't speak Italian that she was awful to me. And so my response to her, it's the only time I've ever misbehaved ever in my life, was like, "I'm not working for you. I'm not going to do any work for you if you're going to treat me like that." And then my dad's like, why do I have got a letter from your teacher saying you're not doing any work for her? And I explained, and he went, well, it's reasonable. If she's going to be a jerk, then don't work for her. And so I failed Italian. It's the only thing.
What school was that?
That was Chanel College, which folded. I mean,
Hold on, Chanel College. Is that here or over?
no, Chanel College is in Geelong. Well, was in Geelong.
What
yeah,
was
it
in
was, it was
Geelong?
a Christian Brothers school.
Okay.
They have a bad track record.
Yeah. We won't go there. There's enough.
That should have been their motto.
There's enough.
It wasn't though.
There's enough internet searches that you can look into that.
Yeah. So
That's why Will's hair's parted in the middle.
Hey, I actually was an altar boy at one
no, that's what I'm
stage.
saying.
Really?
I know.
That's why I said it.
Yeah, I was.
yeah,
Yeah, and get this. I mean, I was an altar boy for like 7 years.
that's dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get long service leave for that in other jobs.
Neil, I could have
Yeah.
gotten a gold watch.
I'm sure you got other things, mate.
Oh, come on.
wow.
No, actually, I have to admit that the parish priest back in those days, Reverend Father Phelan,
Father?
Father
Fa-
Feeling, is he? That's appropriate.
No, look,
my
he
God.
was. His name was. It was spelt Phelan, Phelan,
You still got it.
and no, and he was. He seriously, he was an awesome guy. So
Do you know
Yeah.
what? Like that's the problem with anything like that. You know, it takes one out of 100,000
To wreck it.
To wreck it
for everyone else.
Yeah, and
yeah.
and then you just get suspicious. It's like most people drive really responsible in their cars. It just takes one person to drive past a school at 70 k's an hour and hit a kid, and now everyone has to drive at 40 k's an hour.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's
Same
what it
topic
is.
exact same topic as, and I'm. He's not a guitarist, but I'm contemplating inviting him on the show. This guy here is a Sudanese guy who's a customer of mine, and he came in and he spent. Well, we were talking for about an hour, and he turned around and I asked him. I said, "Oh, you know, where you from?" You know, he said, "I'm from North Sudan," and he explained to me the differences between North Sudan and South Sudan, and he was saying that South Sudan is more the village, you know, the tribe.
As in less
less educated,
westernized
in comparison to the Northerners that were more educated, and they were more, you know, full on. And he was telling me that he fled Sudan and went to Ethiopia. And what happened was, the reason why he fled was he was a professional accordion player, right? And he was on live TV performing with this artist who was a political singer,
right?
And they're on live TV, and a sniper takes the lead singer out. So, and he's playing, like they're actually playing, and he's going, "I was playing," you know. And I saw the singer just fall, and I said, kept playing.
Look, we've all had singers do that, but not in
like
that,
I had
Yeah.
many years ago with the In Excess tribute band it's now called In Excessive, but back in those days we were called Listen Like Thieves. And our singer stepped on the fallback wedge one night, and the fallback wedge rolled forward, and he just bang, and he didn't get up. It was just, but that was, and then he got up and then continued the rest of the show. And then on the same gig, he was jumping up on the side of the stage and headbutted one of the cans in the par 64s, and so singers are renowned for it. But this singer just dropped, bang, on the ground. Right, and he's playing. The whole band was playing. Right, and he going, "Oh, what's he done? You know, is he doing something?" And then he saw the bass player fly round, and as he flew around, he saw red, and he went.
So someone's trying to take out the whole band.
People were. There was someone who was a sniper taking out the band on live TV. Right, so he's dropped his accordion, jumped off the back of the stage, gotten into his car. Gets home, grabs his wife and his son and daughter, gets in the car, takes off, drives straight to Ethiopia, right? Goes to the embassy and says, "I want to be, you know, a refugee status. I want to seek asylum."
Yeah.
And they said, "Prove it."
And he's like, "Check the news."
And he goes, "Look at the news. See the guy over there on TV? That guy there?" And they go, "That's you." And he goes, "Yeah, that's me." And they gave him an option of America or Australia. And he was telling me that he's been here about 10 years, and he, in that time, he's had so many jobs, and he goes, it's just so hard because of what everyone else has been doing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And this guy's he's in his 50s.
Yeah. And
he's a family man, you know, wanting to make a break for the family, bring them to a better country. And, you know, he's got that I'll next time he comes in, I'll ask him if he'll come on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It'd be an awesome.
I mean,
for me, it'd be something to bring the Sudanese community. I mean, I did it one night with Erkan, who's a Turkish guy. I don't know if you saw that episode. No, Erkan blew me away because what we actually went through and what we played was 7 different things. I suppose 7, 8 timing because of Turkish music.
Oh right, yeah. But, I can't do that. Someone once told me, like, if you want to play an odd time signature, you just do like count to 4, then count to 3. Because I said I'm a musician, I can't count past 4. It's like, oh, it's easy. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm like,
There's a video clip.
Revelation.
There's a video clip on YouTube. If you, I'll tell you after the thing. but where the guy's on the piano and he goes, "Okay, this is how we count 5-4." So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to play, and he starts playing, right? And he goes 1, 2, and he goes, and now I'll count, and he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's left out the one.
Yeah.
And he's counting. So he's still doing 4-4.
That's hilarious.
And this guy's trying to teach people how to play.
Have you heard Billy Joel's version of how to do a 5-4?
No.
It's like you just put the F word in. Like,
Go on.
well, I won't, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3,
Fluff.
4. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's good.
Actually, have you seen the video clip of Harry Connick Jr.?
Yeah.
Where he's got the cloud counting on the
And
1 and
they-
the 3, and he goes, "This ain't right."
And
So
he
he
puts an extra beat in.
an extra beat in,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
He's amazing, that guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now, how old
Hmm.
were you when you started playing?
I was 12 years old.
12.
I wanted a skateboard for my 12th birthday, and my parents said, "We are not buying you a $300 skateboard." This is in 1987. That's too.
And that was
expensive.
here?
Yep.
Because you were born in
I was
Wales.
born in Wales. Came here when I was 10. So I was 10 in 87, and so on my 12th birthday, 89. By this stage, believe it or not, I was a pretty good skateboarder, but I was bleeding all the time. Because
Oh,
the
of
thing
course.
about skateboarding is like you
You
fall.
fall,
Yeah,
yeah.
particularly when you're 12.
And the better you are, the more blood you shed.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
of course, when you're hanging out with, 16-year-old guys, like, and you're 12, it's like, they think you're amazing because this kid just falls over all the time and bleeds and gets back up. And so
Yeah.
then you've got this kind of
Yeah.
bravado. about it.
Unbeatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Unstoppable.
and I was pretty good.
Yeah.
And but everyone had a good skateboard, and I had a really crappy skateboard that it was a Skittles branded skateboard that I won in a raffle at Food Plus. Remember Food Plus?
Oh, Food
Yeah, yeah.
Plus.
And I'm sure the girls at Food Plus, the ladies at Food Plus, like totally rigged it so I could win it because I was in there all the time, like buying 10-cent packets of Skittles so I could win this thing. Anyway, I won it, but I had a crappy skateboard and I wanted a really good one. And mum in particular was very much like, "We're not buying you a great skateboard, but your friend Mark plays guitar and you
Yeah.
like music, so how about we buy you a guitar?" And I went, "All right, yeah, whatever."
So you didn't
Sure.
want to play guitar?
It's not that I didn't want to play. It's just that I liked skateboarding.
Yeah.
And I was a kid. I was 12, so I
Yeah.
didn't know the difference. But what happened within 6 months of me getting this guitar, we moved from Hoppers Crossing to a little town called Teesdale, where there was zero asphalt or concrete. So we moved to a country town, and it was like I could ride the skateboard.
Where's Teesdale?
It was about 45 minutes out of Geelong, north, kind of north.
Is it heading towards
Northwest.
Ballarat?
Yeah,
sort of
it's so if you go towards Ballarat and then you take a sharp left about half an hour,
Yeah.
it's like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Beautiful little town, lovely place.
Yeah.
But there's no one to ride a skateboard, so I was like, well, I was like, well, I guess all I've got is this guitar. Oh well, I guess I'll play guitar, and that's the story of me.
And that's where
playing
you
guitar.
started.
That's my story. Of me
And did you have formal lessons?
I think I had 3 or 4 lessons in the end of grade 6, and then 3 or 4 lessons at the start of year 7. And my year 7 guitar teacher hit me over the head.
Was it with a wooden spoon?
No, and I understand. I appreciate his position. So this is the story. He's written on a page, capital A, minor scale. I don't understand what that means at all.
Yeah.
So I'm reading that as A minor scale, like that's caps at the start. I'm like, what scale is this? And he's like, A minor scale. Like, yeah, but which one? And it's A minor scale. And it's this back and forth where he doesn't
Oh,
understand, I don't
man.
understand, and I don't understand what he's talking about.
Oh.
And eventually he just goes, smacks across the head. And I just packed up and walked out. I didn't have a guitar lesson again for years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I feel for him because it was like
What a
this,
twist.
yeah, now I look back at it and I thought for years that my guitar teacher was a jerk, and it just turns out that he thought I was a jerk. So
Wow.
just
That's
that thing about
funny.
language when people just don't connect verbally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sorry to interrupt.
yeah.
Since Will refuses to see the big screen.
Oh,
No,
good.
I actually see the big screen now. I see the
Mark
big screen.
Dugdale says your You rocked the guitar in the first 6 months.
Mark Dugdale taught me how to play guitar, technically.
Right.
Mark is my friend, Mark, that I
Yeah.
just told
Yeah,
you
yeah.
to play guitar.
Yeah.
He and his dad play guitar.
Yeah.
And he taught me how to play Every Rose Has Its Thorn, which was my first song on the guitar. Yeah. And he could kind of solo a bit. Like, and I was like, well, that doesn't make sense to me. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I really learned, Mark really kind of taught me the first bunch of stuff. And then my friend Ivan Bilic, he taught me all about scales and stuff. Like I could strum and I was good at rhythm. And
Do you read?
Poorly. I'm one of those guys that has a music degree but has never really
'Cause it's one
lived in a
thing-
situation where you go,
Yeah.
here's charts for you to read. So I've very rarely done that stuff.
Yeah.
So I pick it up very quick. If I
Yeah.
have to do it, I gravitate towards it quickly, but I'm not great at it.
Yeah. It's funny because I mean, reading is an art. Like sight reading is an art, you know, and like, because I've got a few people that say, "Oh, you're a good reader," and I just think, "No, man, I'm a good bluffer."
I can read a chart.
Yeah.
And I can read rhythms quite well, but reading notes and rhythms at the same time, I really have to.
That's
work
where
on
your
that.
eyes go cross-eyed. Yeah.
And I didn't learn. It's not how I learned how to play. And I'm actually very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like any musicality I have is because I had to work. I had to work at it a lot more.
Yep.
You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I know a lot of people who can't improvise but they sight read beautifully. You know, they don't. They're
Yeah, I
not
know.
particularly creative,
Yeah.
but they're incredible musicians.
Yeah, it's
And
like
it's-
people that come in and people that you meet and you say, "Can you play? Here, play," and they go, "I need some music."
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
I had this amazing experience with my ex-girlfriend who I didn't know played violin until one day I came home when she was in the middle of exams, and apparently that's the perfect time to get your violin out when you're supposed to be doing something else. It's like, I'll just avoid studying. She was playing violin, and incredibly. And I said, I didn't know you did that. And then after a little bit of time went by, and she said, I'd love to play some music with you. And I said, all right. And I pulled out the guitar, I started playing. It's a song I wrote. It's in D. And she's like, what does that mean? And I said, well, it's the D scale. She said, I don't know what that is. And so I wrote out the D scale
yeah,
and she played and then back. And I said, well, so if it's in D, just improvise with those notes. She had
no idea.
just couldn't understand, because
Yeah.
what it was is that she'd see the dots and it correspond to where she put her fingers, but she didn't know that was an A or that was an F sharp.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't how she learned how to play.
mechanical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel quite grateful that I don't have that issue. I have the other issue, which is I play quite well, and then you put music in front of me and I stop. Like that's at least
Hey, that's a standard music guitarist thing.
It's totally true. And it's that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
We're going to go to a commercial,
Yeah,
and
cool.
when we return, we'll come back with Dom Italiano.
Eastgate Music is Melbourne's premier independent music retailer, now trading at 1131 Burke Road Q, with free car parking at the rear. We specialise in acoustic and electric guitars, tube amplifiers and boutique pedals. For keyboards, drums, PA systems, microphones and home recording gear, we have it all. Violins, violas and cellos are a special focus of Melbourne Strings, our orchestral shop. For new, vintage, second-hand and custom shop, trade in and trade up for great cash prices. Lay-bys and consignment stock are welcome. We offer interest-free finance and take all major credit cards. Our experienced in-house technicians can service, set up and repair your instruments and amps reliably and quickly. We deliver securely and safely to your door, including regional centres and interstate. The major brands we stock include Fender, Gibson, Yamaha, Martin, Taylor, Maton, Bogner, Magnetone and many more. Check out our websites at eastgatemusic.com and melbournestrings.com for great deals, discounts and specials.
And we're back with Dom Italiano and Dom.
Yes. Hi.
You have got my brother-in-law has one, the
Yeah.
cleft.
I have a hair lip cleft palate.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was that growing up?
Um,
Because I know my brother-in-law used to get into a bit of strife with it.
do you know what? The first until I was 10 in the UK, like, used to get picked on a lot. Came to Australia, primary school, no drama. Like, grade 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
No drama. High school, like high school's
You copped
all
it.
boys high school. Year 8s pick on year 7s. Like, I copped a lot, but I was also a smart ass. I was like, if you're gonna hit me, hit me. What are you gonna do? Make me bleed? Like, it was, and so like, it was interesting. I have a different perspective on bullying than probably I think it's just how the world is.
Yeah.
Um,
I've got a very interesting.
Yeah.
My concept is just strike back, but I mean that's not what everyone says you should do. But I found in my experience, strike back, and the person that's instigating will never ever come back because they sit there, they're off guard. They go, whoa, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, look, I think it's a different world than certainly
Very different now.
When I was younger, and who am I? I don't have children. Who am I to have a perspective on it? But I got picked on a lot. I got beat up a lot. It's all right. And what's interesting now is a lot of those people who I have seen since school turned out to be really nice older people. They're just,
Pick on other people now.
Well, I imagine not.
Yeah.
And I've had conversation with people, and they've said, when we were at school, I was ridiculous to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you were. And I'm sorry. Like, kind of like a,
The apology
kind of like
comes
Billy
out.
Madison, that thing where
Yeah.
Billy Madison rings people. I was like, I was really crap to you. And I just think it's part of life, But
Yeah.
I had a friend, actually, my friend Ivan that I told you about, who taught me the G major scale. He was always my defender at a party or something like that, and he would explain to people that what actually happened was we were playing Lego at his house one day, and he went to the bathroom. He said, "Don't touch my space Lego," and I did, and he came back and hit me with a cricket bat. Like, and that's what it was. And people were like, "Like, really?" And I'd go along with, like, "Yeah, it was pretty rough, but we're still friends because it's a good friendship." Like, and he said, "Don't touch the Lego," and it like disarms people straight away. Yeah. I'd always come up with things like, "What happened to you?" I found a plate glass window, or I got hit by the postman's post bike, and people were like, "Oh, really?" And like, no, I was born like that. It's always better when people ask the question, like, what happened, and you just go, "Oh, some people are born with a funny face."
Mm.
Actually, I need a baseball bat here for Will.
And what would you do with that baseball bat?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Hey, speaking of baseball bats, has Rory made any comments tonight?
Yeah, he said, "Hi, guys."
Oh, hi, Rory. How you doing?
Even though you totally ignored him.
Oh, well, I can't, I mean, he's over there. And
Rory, what he's trying to say is, thank you for the 48-inch screen. I think
Rory,
Will,
by the
we need a
way, that
65
screen
inch.
is absolutely amazing. I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to take a photo of it and post it on our page and go, this is our screen.
That screen's going to go in my lounge room.
Actually,
it's bigger than my
I'm going to do a
TV.
panoramic shot right now, then everyone can see how
Are you
amazing,
gonna
the tech is. in here.
show it?
Yeah.
It is a cool little studio, isn't it?
Amazing.
Rory said, "Not feeling the love, Will."
I love you, Rory. I do. So
I got to get this
there you go. Look at that.
Paisley guitar in as well.
Oh, that Paisley guitar.
Did it work?
The
Didn't even
old,
work. See, that's how bad I am at technology. I couldn't even make the camera work.
oh, that's funny.
Sorry, I'm going to do it again.
That is funny.
This makes for bad podcast radio, but it's working now. That's good. This is going to be great.
Cool.
Cool. There you go. Live panoramic photo shots in the studio. That's
hot.
That's awesome.
It's always good when it ends with a pink Paisley guitar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll
So-
post that later.
Now, you were playing for all these years,
It's been a while. Yes.
and then from there you started playing at school, I take it?
Yeah, so I mean, I was that kid that used to take his guitar on the school bus, the country school bus, and kind of always at guitar playing never came easy to me at all. So I had these friends that play guitar really well for our age, and I would very much probably have to put in 5 hours for their every half hour to get the same result. But so I would always be kind of whittling away at it, and maybe year 9 I started hanging out with this guy Ivan, and he showed me the G major scale, and that in other positions it's like this is the modes of the car, and then it took me another 25 years to work out how to use modes, and then even then I don't do that very well. But so the high school, and then high school band, and then those battle of the bands competitions, and then careers counselors saying, what are you going to do when you leave school? And it's like, I want to be a musician. Like, yeah, but what are you going to do? What are you going to study? I was like, I want to go study music. Yeah, but what you need to have a career in mind. And so I was discouraged from studying music.
So what do you do?
I'm a musician. And it's funny because everyone always said and I had that thing you have to have a backup plan, and it's really the last 3 years I've been a full-time musician, and I got to the point where I realized 3.5 years ago actually music's been my backup plan. I've had all these other jobs throughout my life, and the thing I've always fallen back on has been being competent enough to be a gig music.
Hey Dom.
Yeah, man.
I'm 50 years old. My mum's still waiting for me to get a real job.
Hey, my mum's the same, mate.
Well, to be fair, my mum and my dad think it's awesome that I do it. They love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
So
hey, I told my mum that I was doing a gig with when I was touring with Patrizio Buoni, and I'm doing this big tour, mum. I'm touring around Australia. Hey, Pino, just help yourself.
This will be the new show.
Sorry, man. I felt like a molly. I had to get
So
one.
you've got a vocal show, a guitar show, and a drum show.
Yep.
Right. Well, we're going to do movie sound effects show. Here we go. So, hail hits the car roof. Very good. ADR sound effects.
Yeah, that sounds like hail hitting the car roof. Yeah.
Gallstones fall from his bladder.
Yeah, that's the sound.
Yeah. I love it.
That hurt.
I don't think that's the sound gallstones make. By the way, actually, I've had gallstone issues. What the sound they make is, oh my god, I'm so much pain. That's in the left testicle, that feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what gallstones in women produce the pain. I mean, I don't think it's the left testicle pain.
It's left ovary.
A left ovary.
I seriously, I'm just trying to find out where this conversation is going.
There's nothing better than left ovaries.
How do we get on to that?
Ordering a family-sized pizza and then having leftovers for tomorrow.
God.
By the way, your mother,
Mama.
Therese.
Yeah.
Hey, I certainly do, and very proud of my musician son.
Yeah, see, Mama.
Therese, you're fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you want to be my mum? My mum's good, but she's always she's never really kind of. I mean, she put me through music, the lessons and stuff like that. But every time I did something, he was like, "Oh, you're wasting your time." I did my first pub gig that I did. It is funny. I come home. It was 6 a.m, right? I'm reversing my car in the drive. And okay, there's two types of people in the world. There's people who just drive in front first, and people who reverse. Yeah, I always reverse, so that when I go out, my nose is there and I can get out quick because I don't trust the traffic, right? Fair enough. Yep. Anyway, so I reverse the car in, and as I'm reversing in, my dad's warming up his car to go to work, right? And it was like that. Do you remember the cartoon Hello, Ralph? You remember that? Yes. Right? And it was a bit like that. It was, oh, hi, Dad. Hi, son. You're coming home from, and anyway.
And how's that? If you worked at Ford doing night shift, there wouldn't have been a problem.
No.
Playing the band.
No.
Or if you're a baker. No worries,
So anyway, I come home, and my mum was in the kitchen. She'd made coffees for my dad and stuff. And she goes, "You come home at this time?" And I go, "Mum, I just finished work." No, no more.
Not having it.
You got to quit this band. Wow. I go, and that's when I turned around and I said, "Now's the time I either put my foot down, and back in position and just no, I'm going to stand my ground, or I buckle and weave. You know,
of course.
so I stood my ground, and we were having an argument. My dad walks in, and then he's going, "What's going on?" You know, and my mum goes off. She says, "Oh, he's coming home at this," and my dad goes, "What's wrong with that? He's working. It's a job for him.
Yeah.
Relax, calm down." Anyway, so I kept doing that, and she kept saying to me, "When are you going to get a job? When are you going to get a job?" And even to this day, I got a full-blown repair business down at GH, right?
Yeah.
And we repair everything, right? And she still says, "When are you going to get a job?" I think she wants me to become an accountant.
Well, you
I couldn't do
you
that.
can count to 4.
One, two,
2, 3, 4.
four.
1, 2, 3.
And
That's
then I
7.
can put ands in there and e-anders. Yeah.
Do you know, it's an interesting point you make about the conversation that you had with your parents about what you do. So the last 3.5 years, almost 4 years, I've been full-time music, and what that means is I'm very fortunate. My parents they're young, so they had mum had me when she was 20 odd, dad was 22, so we're pretty close in age now. Like I'm almost 41, so there's not actually that much difference.
Not much difference. No.
When it gets to that point.
Yeah.
But fortunately as well, my mum and dad are retired, so I can hang out with them. Like I go and see my mum and dad during the day, and we have a chat about what they've watched on Netflix. My dad, they live in the country. I help my dad, stack firewood, or last year we replumbed the house together. Just stuff that my brother, who's got a real job, would love to be able to do that with dad, or hang out with mum. To take mum and I will go to a matinee theatre show. Yeah, and it's like you got a real job, you can't do that. And then that also does mean that, well, on a Sunday afternoon when someone's having a family lunch, I can't be there. But no one ever remembers a family lunch. Do you remember the family lunch we had on the 3rd of November? But you don't remember those things. But you remember replumbing your house with your dad.
Yeah.
Right. And that is, I got to say, like that, what? A, I'm lucky that, my parents like me. B, I like my parents. And C, that I get to do that stuff with them. And I wouldn't be able to do that.
Now, you're the only child?
No, I've got a younger brother and sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got great...
Are they musos?
No, my brother is a really strong singer and used to do duo stuff before up until he had his first daughter. And then he pretty much went, well, I got other things to do now, and I prefer to hang out with my family than be at a pub on a Saturday night.
Yep.
My sister could have been a singer. She's got a beautiful voice.
Yep.
But isn't one.
Yeah.
So I'm the only one who's kind of, I guess, stubborn enough to stick at sitting in a room for 8 hours at a time learning how to play an instrument.
Yeah.
Antisocial enough, I think, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were seen as. In practice. Because it's what are you practicing for? It's my trade.
I think I might say something quite controversial now, but I think that's why there's a huge disparity between men and women who play instruments. Guys, for some reason, are quite happy to sit in a room for 8 hours learning a scale or a drum rudiment, much more than women seem to be. Happy to sit by themselves and do that. Women tend to be much more social in the way they behave, and
although I do know some females that will do the same.
100%. Yeah, that's a generalization, but it just seems like there's plenty of incredible female singers. Yeah, but they don't necessarily have an accompaniment instrument like lots of guys do. So people will say, oh, you're antisocial, you sit in the bedroom the whole time. It's like, I'm just trying to get good at this thing so I can go and be sociable.
Yeah, exactly. At the pub.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let's have a jam.
Sorry, Dom.
Man.
Go on.
Your mum sings.
She's a great singer.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she does sing too.
Should have gotten your mum on.
Well, Mum's about an hour away, I reckon. So if you want to keep this going for a while,
why don't we get Mum to call in and she can sing over the phone?
Yeah, Mum, will you call in?
That's really funny with my mum. She can sing a harmony to anything.
Yep.
But she doesn't do melody.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She just she hears harmony.
Yep.
And
she goes straight to it.
Even in an instrumental thing, she picks.
She
sings harmony to stuff. Yeah,
that's awesome.
She, her brother and sister. So Mum's Welsh. So
they sing in a choir.
They did church choir.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
And how many singers do you know, like lead singers, who can't sing a harmony?
Well, they never have to because they're lead singers.
Yeah, but they should.
I agree.
They
but,
should be able to
yeah,
sing.
but you get good
harmonies,
at what you practice, and if you
Yeah,
don't practice
true.
doing harmony, then
I suppose. Yeah.
that's how it is.
Let's have a jam. Ooh.
Yeah, what's that?
That's going to be my new call when I want Will to pay attention
I
to
love
the
it.
screen.
I feel like
I'm looking at the screen. It says.
I feel like we need to turn the page and see what happens next in the
It's the magical-
golden book. So what-
Hello, and the magical book says.
it was hailing in Winterland.
And looking through the magic circle,
I love it.
the magic roll of Gaffer. Yeah. All right. Let's have a jam.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it. And we could talk about my special guitar.
Your special guitar.
Yeah.
So how long you had that?
Oh, about 2 years.
Yeah.
I think it's even the last guitar I bought.
That's a US or is it a Mex or a
It's
Jap?
It's a Mexican.
Yep.
But it has a piezo bridge.
Nice.
But I'll tell you why I have a piezo bridge in my electric guitar after we play a song.
Okay.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Should we play Green Limousine?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right. Are you gonna now? I see that you got a whole lot of
I got
But
some stuff.
you
on
got
the
some
floor here.
gizmos down here, and I mean we should do some tech talk as well. What have you got?
Okay, so I have. So this could I'll explain briefly. So my guitar has a piezo bridge and electric pickups, and there's 2 volume knobs, and this is a stereo cable. The stereo cable goes into a splitter basically, and so I run an acoustic version of it, and then I can step on this pedal and run an electric version. So the reason why I have this set up is because about 4 years ago, I was working in a bank and I was on a computer all day, and then I was doing these acoustic gigs with acoustic guitar, and I literally couldn't use my left hand because my hand was so sore.
It kills you. Yeah.
Kills you. And so I was trying to work out, or do I quit the bank or do I quit playing guitar? And neither of them at the time were feasible options. So I was like, is there a way I can do it? And
Yep.
it was like, well, could I play electric guitar with an acoustic pickup? And it turned out I
You can.
found a guitar that had that, and it was perfect. And within 2 weeks, my hand issues went away. And the other reason I don't play that guitar anymore is because I found this and put this in there.
Can you run that guitar on a mono plug as well?
Yes, but when you run mono, it's just an electric guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the electric pickups.
Yep.
Yep. And so what I do is I split the signal. So you can't run both signals at once. You either run one or the other. So this is the acoustic bit. And also then I click this pedal here and I go electric. And I
Nice.
go back to that. So I can do like solo acoustic gigs, and I have this, when I do a loop, I play at a solo. If I'm doing a duo, it's just got that extra kind of sound.
Yep.
But also my hands work properly now.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
nice.
Now you got the Vocal Live. Is that the Vocal Live 2?
It is. It's just a really big tuner and looper.
That's all.
That's all I use it for. I didn't use any of the stuff.
What a shame.
Well, I hate the vocal harmony stuff. I think I just don't like the sound of it.
Okay.
It's more along the lines of, if I'm playing with someone else,
They're going to sing a harmony.
I want them
anyway.
to sing.
Yeah.
Right. And the same with the looping. Like I do basically a beat, and I might loop for a solo.
Yep.
But I'm not going to loop all the rhythm parts when there's another guitar player there.
Yeah, yeah.
Or a bass player. Or
So
whatnot.
use the looper. Go on.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Go.
Hang on. Now, if we're going to play Criminal Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Listen to the sound of the revolution. Everybody's out in the street tonight. Everybody's cool. Everything's alright. Better pray that your old man don't get home tonight. Baby, drive my car where the wild things are. I got a green limousine. Everyone's a star, but they won't get far without a green limousine. Someone burn a flag to the real convention. Set the wheels in motion in the night. Everybody's cool. Everything's alright. I've got a feeling in my bones we're gonna get it on tonight. Baby, drive my car where the wild things are. I got a green limousine. Everyone's a star, but they won't get far without a green limousine. There's no need to get uptight. I got room to spare. All those profits and street hitchhikers, I'm gonna take you there. Oh yeah. Where the looping comes in handy. Everybody's cool. Everything's alright. I got a feeling in my bones we're gonna get it on tonight. Baby, drive my car where the wild things are. I got a green limousine. I'm a shining star, but I won't get far without a green limousine. Don't want a car, oh well, bought it up for sale. He bought a green limousine. I got a inland black money and a green limousine. I got a green limousine. I got a green limousine. That's the best. I want to get that for when I do my own Facebook lives. I can go.
Thanks for that, Pino.
You're welcome.
How good's the tech?
don't,
So good.
don't tell him because
No, it's great. I want to know what that. There's an app that's getting used which has samples too. I'm gonna add that to my
that thing
arsenal.
there.
No, this is our software when we broadcast.
That's the broadcast live on the web.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, on the website with the radio.
We got even little kids. All right, I'm gonna start showing off.
Rat bags.
Yeah, go on, show us another noise. Go on.
Oh, this is the favorite noise that Will loves to hear. He hears this all the time.
Do you know what? I still, whenever I see flashing lights, I was like, I know I've done nothing wrong, and I'm still scared. Like I see an ambulance, and I'm like, am I okay? It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I was such a fool.
yeah.
Hey, thanks for the play. Thanks for the jam.
That was good fun.
That's great.
It was
Yeah.
good fun.
Great.
So having that facility.
Yeah.
So anyone who wants to do lots of gigs,
Yeah.
I'm like most people. I want to do as many as I can because they're fun. But they're painful sometimes. Playing acoustic guitar is hard work. So
It
this
is.
helps, and it sounds enough like an acoustic for you to get away with it.
Yep.
Yeah, Dom,
Yeah,
we got a question from Claude.
Yeah.
Is that guitar been modified?
Yes.
Or did you buy it like that? And what is it, please?
Okay, so yes, it's been modified. So I used the old eBay to purchase the Fishman bridge
Yeah,
because I couldn't.
you couldn't get it.
I mean, I called everyone, and I'm one of those people too. It's like I'm going to get that in a week. If I order it, it's going to take a month, and I don't want to wait.
Yeah,
And that was all it
and
was.
that is one of the things about. I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
And so, but I did buy the guitar from a shop, and the story was so. I bought lots of things over my time from Music Workshop in Geelong, which is where
Greg B.
where I grew up, and I go in there, and I know Daniel and the boys
Is
really well.
Greg still
He's still
floating
around.
around?
Yeah, he's still around. I don't see him very often when I go in there, but I see Daniel and the other boys there.
Yeah.
And so I walked in one day, and I probably hadn't been there for a month, and some of the guys there was like, "Oh, this came in yesterday," and I was actually thinking of calling you because I know how much you like tellies. And I played it and went, I'm gonna buy it. It's an incredible instrument.
Yep.
It was it's a Mexican telly, and
So it's in a way it's a USA telly,
yeah,
but made in Mexico.
well,
Because a lot of the guys that work in Mexico usually when they jump the fence and
They
go
go
to
work in
America, they work in America anyway.
probably not that far apart.
No, I
in
shouldn't
fact,
really say that. No,
Um,
I'm joking.
Sorry for the ignorance because I'm a drummer, not a
Yeah.
guitarist, but I noticed your guitar, it's got like.
It's red.
Oh, good on you.
it's got a hole in it.
And it's it's got the hole in it. Is
All right.
that because of the acoustic?
So it's got these things are called F holes, and I think that's because they're shaped like an F.
Yep.
An
Yeah.
old school F, and so very much like a violin or a cello, but it basically means that it's not a solid body guitar.
But that's got nothing to do with playing acoustically.
No, I don't think it adds.
Is that
really
fully
any sound.
semi-acoustic or is it like half?
Sorry, I asked the question again.
Because I've seen some guitars that is half.
It's just this hole
that,
here.
okay, yeah, right. That's solid.
I think there's
Like,
there's a chamber there as well.
no, it's
But it's
full.
it's
Yeah,
half the
it's-
weight
yeah, semi.
of a normal Telecaster. It's very
Yeah.
light. And I was explaining before you got here that I've dislocated both my shoulders. So over the years, so playing a normal weighted guitar is painful.
kill
for
you.
me, right?
Yeah.
So having something that is close to the body, but also if I stand up with this, it doesn't
Hurt.
put my shoulder out. I don't. If it had been a normal Telecaster, I would have probably bought it anyway because it's great to play. I
Yeah.
don't think this makes that much difference to certainly the playability of it. But yeah, the bridge I had dropped in, so and I replaced the original pickups.
So did you get the boys down at
Technically, yes.
so
they're-
Daniel and the boys did all the electrical work on it?
Andrew Cromwell, who I don't know if you know, but
know of
he's,
Andrew, yeah.
He's
He's
just
great.
incredible guitar
Yeah.
player. And as good a guy as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And I've known him since I was in high school. He's a couple of years older than me. He's also a great guitar tech, and he put that in for me. Yeah, but apparently it's just a drop in, wire it up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it's not stock. It's an extra few $100 to change it, but you gig a lot. It's that thing that
You got to do it.
in the footy world, they say it's the 1%ers that help you get through your week.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know really any sporting parlance other than that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun.
And hey, what's that pedal down there that's got the blue and the orange lights and stuff?
That's
is that just like a MIDI controller or something?
no, that's a preamp. It's a Richie Kotzen Tech 21.
Don't speak like that to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's basically a preamp.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's got this dirty channel here.
Valve?
And, no, it's
just a straight out
yeah,
preamp.
it's all transistory, and I've just got like a little bit of compression and whatnot there. I don't think it really changes the sound that much.
Yeah.
I don't really do. It looks like I do effects because this is a fancy looking pedal board.
This
But
pedal board
yeah.
looks absolutely amazing, and like you've even got your SM58 kicking in there, and
I've got my Ventolin in there as well.
Yeah.
There's probably some rubber bands, some Velcro, and
you're using the Mua power.
yeah, that was actually Daniel from Music Workshop sorted me out with that because I kept blowing power supplies.
Yeah.
I've never said that out loud before, that phrase, and now I just thought of the connotation, and I feel like
Hey, what's that? I'm just looking at the toys you've got. What's that
Yeah.
guitar over there?
It's called an acoustic guitar.
Thank you
This
very much.
I swear, Will.
I'm glad you
Oh
asked.
man,
I brought it for
Yeah.
a reason.
no, I think
This is a very special guitar. This is a bourgeois guitar.
bourgeois. Is it
Yeah.
made in France?
No, it is made in America,
Okay.
but it is a Sean Watkins model, 14 of 25. It's very fancy. It's like I think it's more expensive than my car. My car wasn't that cheap.
Cool.
It's very light. Do you want to hold it? It's very light acoustic guitar.
Oh wow.
But
Yeah.
it's one of those guitars that you play it and you have no regard for it. You hit stuff with it too.
And you bring it on a radio show and you get a chip on the back because of the stool.
Do you know what? Like people have said to me for years, like all my guitars have got holes and dents in them and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that's your average everyday person doesn't understand how much a guitar costs, like
No.
a reasonable one.
Yeah.
So when you say this is a $4,000 guitar, they're like, why do you even take it out of the house? And my thing is, you don't buy a hammer and not hit stuff with it.
Yeah.
Like it's a tool that you use, and if it gets hurt, it gets hurt. Like it's how
A lot of my guitars are relicked, and
not from the factory.
no,
from,
I've got
from
some
life.
guitars that are relicked. I've relicked them.
Yeah.
I've got a mate of mine, Joe Capinti, who relics my guitars for me
cool.
and stuff, right? And like, I relic it because if I knock it, it ain't gonna matter.
Well, there's a good point. Yeah, the first ding probably hurts,
It does.
but then once you've got a few in there,
I've got a Blade Levinson.
oh, great guitars.
Right, great guitars.
Yeah.
I've got a Blade Levinson, and it is scratchless.
Right.
Yeah.
Matty Bradshaw's got a Blade.
Yeah.
That's a great guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
My first Maton 808, which I got from the old Bayswater factory, they were so great. I bought this guitar and I went to the factory, and they must have brought me 40 to 50 guitars that day to try out. I kept going back to that same one, and that thing has been rebuilt. I've had it for like 18 years. It's been rebuilt 4 or 5 times by the guys at Maton, because like I've had cymbal stands poke holes in it.
Yeah.
I had a speaker stand totally cave in the side of it, like, and you take it into them and they're like, yeah, we'll sort you out.
Yeah.
And they know, because that's
they
like that their guitars.
I had
get
somebody
used.
who had a broken top, and they
Mm.
brought it to me, and I said to them, "Hey, do you want to know something?" They go, "What?" They go, "Just go straight to Maton."
Yeah, right.
And they've gone, "But can't you do it?" I go, "Why would I want to even touch it
Yeah, okay.
when Maton have got everything there?
And they know.
They've got the tops, they've got
Mm.
everything there. Why would I want to touch it?
Yeah.
Just bring it there. They'll fix it." He
And
took it there.
And they're great.
He came back and showed me and said,
And
"What do you
fixed it.
reckon?"
Yeah.
And I said, "There you go." He goes, "It's a new guitar."
It was really funny. Like, and so basically one of those speaker stands fell and like totally caved in, and it was totally caved in. And I got it back, and he's like, I started sanding it down and thought, if I start sanding it, I'm gonna have to do the whole guitar because it'll look so out of place. 'Cause
Yeah.
it'll be lovely and
Yeah,
clean.
yeah.
So it's kind of half, like it's fixed, but it's kind of half finished.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, I kind of left it. Is that okay? I went, yeah, it's great. No worries.
Roadwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, I do think that about stuff. You're like, you don't buy a tool. I mean, we use it as tools. We use them for
They're our tools.
Yeah.
You can play it?
Sure, I'll play it.
Oh. Now that's got special tuning, isn't it?
This is in open C sharp.
Wow. Nice.
Interestingly, on my EP that I brought, there's not a single normal tuned guitar on it. So everything's in, like, there are some guitars that have 3 guitar tracks, and there's like, that's in open C, that's in open E, and then capoed up at the 9th fret for like this, and there's a Nashville tuning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys who writes 3-chord songs, but in wacky tunings.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they just sound
So
different
you can't
enough.
rip them off.
Well, they just sound different enough to my ears as a guitar player. Probably to other people, just like, they don't notice because it's still a 3-chord song.
Yep.
But they just sound different enough to me to kind of be like, it's just got a quirk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want me to sing one?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Go. Is this off the album?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, speaking of the album, do the song first, and then we'll talk about the album.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk about because I did a possible campaign for it, so people might be interested in
You did a what?
crowdfunding a possible.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So that was a cool thing to
I
do.
love your cover, man.
You know, I made it. There's a video of how I made, like, I actually the photo on the front cover.
Yeah.
That's like a photo that I took, and I splashed paint over the photo, and I stuck magnetic poem words on it, and then took a photo of it. Went, it actually works as a CD cover.
That's the
Totally,
cover.
total accident. I thought, well, give it a go.
Cool.
All right.
So what's this song called?
This is called Higher Ground. This is the first song.
Oh, it's the first song.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Taking my shoes off, I'm down by the water's edge. I know there's healing somewhere inside me, but I haven't found it yet. Watching the sunrise, feeling the sky turn red. I know there's patience somewhere inside me, but I haven't found it yet. And we were searching for higher ground, but going down, down, down. Searching for higher ground, but going down, down, down. Stop counting footsteps. Stop trying, same regret. Well, I know there's forgiveness somewhere inside me, but I haven't found it yet. Yeah, we were searching for higher ground, but going down, down, down. Searching for higher ground, but going down, down, down. Did the final decision set you free? Did it confirm your suspicion then? No two hearts agree. And we were searching for higher ground, but going down, down, down. Searching for higher ground, but going down, 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 down.
Very nice.
Gotta get me one of those.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, where can people buy the album?
Oh, website.
Can
my
they
website.
download it as
Yeah,
well?
it's on the old Spotify and stuff, and it's on Bandcamp. You get a CD from Bandcamp.
Yep. Cool. Hey, what are all these names that are in here?
So what I did with my crowdfunding campaign, everyone who
Helped you
contributed, whether
contributed.
they got a CD or
got their name in here.
they got their name in. So
That's awesome.
So it was like, you guys made this happen. At the time, I was very much kind of feeling like I had a very low confidence in whether it was any good or anyone wanted to hear it, and I felt quite overwhelmed that
Your voice is pretty good too, I have to admit. Yeah. I mean,
Very nice, actually. Very nice
for
playing and voice.
for you doing your thing, it's awesome. Like even doing the
that song.
the
song we
the other
did.
song that we did,
Yeah.
right? But like here, you really brought out. You can tell the emotion and stuff behind it. It was awesome.
Thanks. Thanks.
So no, it's great.
So they all got their
Now-
names in for me to say thanks for making it happen.
You're performing this stuff live, aren't you?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot of gigs,
Yeah.
original gigs. I do a lot of cover gigs.
Yeah.
But the Facebook Live stuff I've been doing, much like this, is yeah, I do a lot of that stuff, and
So there's
and
a
people
CD
like it.
cover
Like for example, Renee and Sonia, who are
and the
on,
back
who
as well.
are
Pete.
on there, so with their one of my, so, making comments. Those guys
Yep.
are huge supporters.
Yeah. No, I have to admit, this is real. Go for it, Pino. Make yourself at home in your own studio.
Oh, while I was there, I might as well.
Love it. I love it.
Oh,
Oh, it's rad.
now
Yes.
I've got to ask you, gigs that you've done.
Yes.
Right, let's talk about fun gigs, wacky gigs, memorable gigs,
Oh,
support gigs.
yeah, cool. I've done. Do you know what? I'm very lucky that every week I get to do 5 to 7 gigs mostly with people who are just hilarious to do gigs with.
So what sort of stuff are you generally doing gigs wise?
Pubs, bars, occasional wedding. But the standard.
Yeah. So now you
rock
said
stuff.
5 to 7 gigs a week.
Yep.
Okay. Now for all of you people that say there's no work, there you go.
Tons
There's
of work.
plenty of work out there. It's
that-
the way you apply yourself to go out and get the work.
But here's the thing, like, if you do 2 things, if you sing and play, like if you sing and
It's easy
play,
to get gigs.
you get, there's more work for you. You're doing 2 things, and if you just play or you just sing, there's less opportunity.
Yep.
And I'm proof of, like, you can be an adequate guitar player and an adequate singer. You don't have to be amazing. You just have to be able to do the job well enough for it not to
Be
sound
able to
like
carry yourself.
yeah, and you have to have the right attitude, and learn songs for the regulars and that kind of stuff. I just know so many people that kind of go, oh, I know my 40 songs, and that's it. They haven't learned a song for 10 years. It's like, well, no wonder you don't have enough work. You're lazy, and you got bad attitude.
Yeah.
So if you got good attitude and you're prepared to put the work in, you'll work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are other components
Yeah.
to that, but I think in general, I think there is plenty of work, and
Where are you performing?
everywhere from Crown to like little pubs in Carlton or St Kilda, and I do a lot of kind of fill-in work.
Yep.
For people who have regular gigs, and they go, can you
Fill in.
fill in for me?
Yeah.
So there's some
They're
stuff.
fun.
Yeah, so there's stuff I do regularly. I don't play in bands very often anymore, and I think that's a combination of the fact there aren't a lot of band gigs, but also when you end up doing solo and duo gigs, that's just what you end up doing.
Yeah.
And being in a band means that you're in a band.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to. You need to be available to be in the band.
That's right.
So I really miss being an electric guitar player, which I don't get to do very much because that's my thing. But is what it is, and I'd still get to play, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. So that's the regular stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
What about? Tell me about Belinda Carlisle.
I got to support Belinda Carlisle maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and that was pretty cool because she's still awesome, and she's, what I mean by that is she's actually still awesome, and she's still gorgeous.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like one or the other. It was like, wow, she's really good, and she's like she was when I was a kid, going, wow, I love Belinda Carlisle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sucker for a redhead myself.
Yeah. So were you doing this sort of this album?
Yeah.
then?
Not this album. No, this was
Originals?
Yeah, originals though. Like I've got.
Was it with a band or was it solo?
No, just solo. I've done originals with a band, but I think I've got five CDs I've done over the years, and I've done original bands too. But like a lot of people who do original music, it's actually really hard work to do a band.
Yeah. You got to have musicians that want to rehearse for nothing.
Yeah, well, I think there's the other aspect of there's lots of great musos, and they're busy. Like the ones that you end up kind of going, do you want to do this original band? And they say yes, and like, when are you available? And they're
Never.
like,
Yeah.
Wednesday at 3. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, and then the other guy goes, oh, I've got a gig.
Yeah.
But I've never had an issue with people wanting to. It's just
It's just getting it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Of course.
I'm working with this 10-piece thing at the moment.
Well,
And,
yeah, just adding a second person's hard enough,
Yeah.
let alone
Yeah.
let alone 10. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine that.
If you need a keyboard player, call me because I know nearly everybody in Melbourne. I've got nearly everyone's phone number. I rang 25 keyboard players in one day.
You haven't called me for drums yet.
No, the drummer's gig was signed, sealed, and delivered before I could even jump.
Hang on. Keep talking, Will.
Pino's. Hang on, I was just about to.
I've got the mute button. Oh, how nice is that?
Pino's heart breaking into pieces. Tears,
actually-
tears of frozen teardrops
Nah.
falling to the ground.
To be honest, Dom, actually, Will couldn't afford my
I love it. I love it. You,
me,
you guys have got good bands.
you know, me and Pino, we did this. Oh no, I'm not going to go back into the story, man.
We'll save it for
We
another
did
time.
the pink guitar says it all. Just
Oh,
Elvis
man.
show. We did this Elvis show, and
Yeah.
Pino was on drums. It was just hilarious. It was.
I would like to have a pink Paisley guitar.
It's not bad.
I was saying to Pino before, I played the Brad Paisley model Fender that's just come out.
Yep.
And it's great, but it doesn't have a G bender in it, and the G bender is like what Brad Paisley's known for. I
Yeah.
just don't. I don't understand. I don't understand how they
Yeah.
can bring out.
Costs you another $5,000.
Fine. I don't know, man. These kind of things
Uh,
perplex me.
Yeah.
But I'm a simple person. So.
So you've also supported John Stevens.
Yeah, I did a series like maybe like 2005 and 6. I was doing a lot of original stuff, and I did a whole series of support gigs. So I did John Stevens and hang on, Diesel.
Yep.
God, that was amazing. That gig. He was amazing. I wasn't. He was.
And you played with one of my guys that I've always looked up to.
Billy Thorpe.
Yeah.
And he was the loveliest too. Like
Yeah.
he
Again, you know how we're talking about
the best
the
musos.
best musos tend to be really, really nice.
Yeah.
The bitter ones are the ones that can't necessarily play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was not long before he passed away actually, but he was on stage remarkable, and
Yeah.
off stage just as lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I probably there's probably a lot more that I've done like this kind of support gigs at places, but
Yeah.
I guess because I play so much and have often gigged so often, they could kind of all like meld into one, and I get to play a lot, so I feel really lucky.
Yeah.
And the people I play with when I do gigs, like I'll do like tomorrow night I'm playing with Rosie Conforto.
Yep.
All right. Who you guys would know.
Yep.
And
So
then-
you got Mr. Christian Nativo on drums.
No, it's a duo gig tomorrow.
Oh,
so
duo.
it's just the two of us. And then on Friday I'll play with
Yeah, all the other guys are at home watching TV.
well, on Friday I'll play with
No, I'm
Elia
joking. They're not.
Canuzzo.
They're probably gigging doing other gigs.
Well, they might be, yeah. But it's just like I get to play with, I get to sit next to incredible musos all the time and just feel lucky that I get to listen to them. It's
Yeah.
just awesome.
So
Yeah.
actually, say hi to Rosie. We know each other, but we actually never officially met.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, it's a bit
incredible.
like me and Pino. We know each other, but we've never officially met.
We wish we didn't met.
Ooh.
That's good. We have a
Oh,
live
he's
photo.
got
like
his
that
sound.
one?
He's big on his sound
Did you
effects,
like
isn't
that
he?
one?
Is one of you about to confess that to the other that you're each other's father or something?
Pino,
Will.
I am your father. From another mother.
I was about to say I just censored myself.
Go
Oh,
on.
you
But
said
no,
to-
no, no, no,
No,
no.
no,
I-
you
I-
started it.
I'm
No,
glad-
no, man. No,
So long as you don't mention the word countries, you're fine.
I was just about to say that. Let's not go there, please.
okay. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
you feel better now?
Yeah. Sometimes you only have to say that you were going to say something risque, and that's enough to make you feel like you have. So I feel like I've been a bit.
Now, you've also got a teaching degree.
I have a teaching degree.
Is it in music?
Technically, yes. So I did a music degree through Box Hill, and then
Who
when
are
I-
your teachers then?
Oh, like all those guys, like Rose and Neil and Bill Bamford was my singing teacher. So here's a story for guitar players who don't want to sing.
Yep.
I was in first year doing guitar, and I auditioned for like a cover band thing, but it was musos, like the third year musos at the school. And every guitar player at school auditioned for this thing, right? And I was not anywhere near the best guitar player at school because I was in first year, right? And the singer was like, "Do you sing?" I went, "Well,
A little bit.
I'll have a crack."
You always downplay it.
Yeah, I'll have a
Yeah.
crack. Well, no, but I wasn't good. I wasn't good. I was 20 years old and I
Okay.
wasn't any good at it, right? And but I was good enough to sing saw her standing there and get by. And the singer was like, "Gig's yours, man." And it was because literally I was the only guitar player that said I would sing. And I wasn't the best player, but I would sing. And then
Yeah.
that happened half a dozen times throughout that year where I went and auditioned for something and I got the gig because clearly I play guitar well enough to do the gig on guitar, but I was prepared to sing and I could have a harmony every now and then, which would just give the singer a chop out once a set.
Yeah. That was then. Now they go, "Do you sing?" You go, "Yeah," and then they go, "Do you have a PA?"
That's true, and I do. I
Yeah.
have two PAs
Yeah.
because sometimes you need two in one night.
Yeah.
But so that was first year, and so it got to the end of first year, and I said, "Can I switch to vocal major?" And the guitar teacher Mario was like, "Why would you do such a thing?" I said, "Well, I just keep feeling like I'm going to keep getting gigs as a guitar player because I'm okay at doing the guitar bit, right? But it's the singing that's getting me the gigs. It's not the guitar playing. Like that's the thing. And if I get to be a better singer, then I might get to be a working musician."
Yep.
And so I spent my second and third year as a vocal student. And I went from being someone who could kind of hold a tune and be all right
To a
kind
serious vocal.
to like now I don't do gigs where I don't sing. And
Yep.
sometimes people would prefer that I might not, but it's like, well, I can do that job too, and it doesn't take long if you put the time. Like you got to practice, and you got to
Yeah.
you got to work out how to do vowels and things like that because it doesn't come naturally if you're not a singer.
Yep.
But I would say to anyone, if you're a drummer, sing. If your drummer wants to do gigs, like who does,
Yeah.
that's not just like in the occasional
Yep.
Saturday night. If you're a bass player, if you're a guitar player,
It helps. It helps
Yeah.
the singer, especially if you play guitar and sing and you've got no one else doing the gig.
yeah, and it
Singing
it
during
really
the
helps.
gig.
It helps you enjoy a gig too. Like there is something about singing it's a different type of experience than
Yeah.
playing an instrument, and it's enjoyable. It's really enjoyable.
Yeah.
And so I mean, and then also that if you want to be creative as a songwriter, then you get to understand what a singer's role is in
Yeah.
songwriting as well. And then you end up doing what I do, which is to bloody well sing your own songs.
Yeah.
If you want to do that. But I just think if I could say that to any kid who's like at music school now and they're doing that thing, oh, just play guitar, like
Learn how to sing.
do it.
Yeah,
Just do it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to take another commercial.
Ooh.
We're going to go to another commercial. Pino, what are you writing on that wall?
No, I'm sorry. I'm
It's all right. Yeah, it's okay.
It's
So-
I just had that post up there for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We'll get it.
We'll blame it on Dom.
Oh man, I talk a lot. I apologize.
No.
Yeah.
Dom, definitely you're not the problem. Mate.
Just so you guys
Just get
know,
the elephant out of the room.
I'm still just so you guys know, I've still got about 25,000 words before I reach my daily quota. So it's at least another 40 minutes.
Oh, here we go.
Well, here we go.
Come and join Australia's award-winning singing and music school, Vocal Arts Studios, to further your music education. With private lessons in singing, guitar, drums, bass, piano and songwriting, as well as a chance to join a band class, vocal ensemble and be part of overseas performance trips, workshops and recording. Vocal Arts Studios is the only music school in Australia with international partnerships and a global network to help you on your musical journey. From beginners to professionals, all ages and styles, children to adults. Follow us on social media at Vocal Arts Studios. Visit the website vocalartstudios.com and phone us today 03 994 8066.
And that was Vocal Arts Studio, which was on last. Actually, that was the show. I didn't get to see the show last night, Pino.
It was a great show, man. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got to watch the rerun.
You're definitely going to watch a rerun, mate. It was fantastic. It was really, really good.
Ri-
Actually, you know
Ricky
what?
was on that last night, wasn't he?
Yeah, Ricky and Lila, Fox, and Monica.
Yep.
Actually, talking about vocals, sorry guys, you should check that show out last night because Monica is a speech therapist.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
yeah, cool.
actually spoke.
I actually wanted to watch it because of that.
It was actually quite interesting.
was
She
good.
spoke about singers and about speech and how it all kind of works. And
Oh,
Yeah.
that stuff's fascinating.
it is. It's
I've got a cute
definitely-
story about speech therapy
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, go on.
because I have a hairlip cleft palate. So, so what that means is the palate in the roof of my mouth is constructed. So I didn't have one when I was born. So where most people have like that, I had nothing, and so they made me a palate, but mine's quite low. Most people have like a pretty high arch, and I have a really flat palate. And so my mother was told when I was a baby, he's like, you're really going to have to do a lot of work with him with his speech. He's gonna have a lot of trouble learning how to speak because of the way the palate is, and so you got to put a lot of work in. By the time I was sort of 4 years old, and it was the time to go to speech therapy. My mum had done that much making me say words properly that I went to speech therapy, and they were like, "No, you wouldn't know," because I don't actually have a very nasally speaking voice.
Yeah,
and that's because my mum taught me how to speak.
Yeah.
And mum's got a beautiful speaking voice. She's Welsh, and she, basically everything sounds
Yeah.
like a song anyway.
Yeah.
So but there's all these things like I used to. Apparently, she's like, "Oh, that's a helicopter," and I would just go blah 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 blah, like just taking the piss out of it.
Yeah.
All these stories about me, kind of going, "All right, I've had enough. I've had enough of all the talking now." Like blah 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 blah. It's really cute. But yeah, speech therapy stuff's really interesting these days with kids that won't eat certain foods when they're young and they don't develop their jaw muscles properly, and so they end up with a lisp or something like that because they haven't developed the strength in the right
Yeah,
spot and their tongue placement. It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
I might get that degree next. I might get a speech therapy.
You probably do really well with it too.
I figure I did a teaching degree and I haven't used it. I haven't got a teaching
Yeah.
job. It was interesting to get, and maybe I just kind of haven't wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I've got an arts and entertainment management master's. Haven't used that.
Yeah.
I just like collecting education.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
I think I want to do is collect all the Trivial Pursuit categories. So, like, I want a science and nature degree next, and maybe like a art literature degree. Yeah, handy. Trivial Pursuit. I reckon that for whoever owns that gaming company, that's a missed marketing opportunity to provide like Trivial Pursuit University and give people like majors in each category.
If they're listening to this show, they're going to pinch your idea.
That's all right.
Yeah.
No worries.
I've
said it first.
You heard it first
You heard
on
it first.
Guitar Talk.
It's
Hey, you're into sport as well.
I like watching it.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it.
Cycling.
I've cycled in other countries. So 2 years ago, I took my bike apart and put it in a box and then took it to Prague, and I rode from Prague to Budapest, which is about 1,200 k's. And that was really cool. And it only took me until 18 months later to rebuild my bike.
Oh, really?
So I'm not a cyclist. Like, I'm not one of those people that goes out on the weekend and, puts the Lycra on and stuff.
From this thing, it looked like you.
Yeah, no. Like, it's just an awesome way to travel. It's a beautiful way to see the world. And the story goes, maybe it was about 5 or 6 years ago, and my now ex, I was trying to kind of get her to have babies and get married, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. I want to do some traveling." I'm like, "Well, where do you want to go?" And she said, "Well, I want to go to Europe." And I said, "How long for?" And she said, 9 months. I said, "Well, the only way we can afford that is if we." And then I looked up at the TV, and the Tour de France was on. I was like, "Maybe we should just cycle around Europe." And she went, "You don't even own a bike." I went, "How hard can it be?" Turns out it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. But there is that element of, day one, you're dead. Day two, day three, you're like, your legs just kind of go, "Oh, is this what we do now?" And then you just 5 hours on a bike, you just do it.
And then you keep going.
Yeah, you just keep going. It really is just like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful way to see the world. You end up on roads that you don't drive down. So there's, you end up at a pace where you can stop and there's a hedgehog that crosses in front of you. Like I've never seen one of those,
Yeah.
In another country. And Yeah, stuff like that. It's a
Yeah.
great way to do it.
Because we've got hedgehogs crossing the roads here in Melbourne all the time.
We got echidnas. They look the same.
Yeah.
But they do. I mean, just stuff like that. You know, there's I can't remember what country. I think I was in Hungary at the time, and there was a sign that said beaver, which turns out
Justin
Justin was crossing.
Turns
was
out-
Justin crossing.
well, it turns out that beaver, the animal beaver, in Hungarian
Is
is
Bieber.
beaver. So Justin Bieber's name means Justin Beaver, which I think is hilarious. But that's the thing. Like when you, and the one funny thing about that is, if I wasn't on the bike track, I wouldn't have seen that sign because that sign was
Yeah.
right next to this river. And now I've got this story. I've got a photo of, So yeah, if you want to go traveling on a budget, take a bike. It's the best. And your friends think you're crazy, but after 2 days on the bike,
How'd you get the bike back?
I put it in a box and put it back.
Hey,
So-
Dom,
yeah.
can you see me in Will in Lycra riding bikes?
Do you know what? I did the first 2 days in Lycra and then just wore normal shorts.
Yeah.
It turns out that actual Lycra and, male genitalia they don't mix.
No, that doesn't
No.
go too well.
That's not fun. I mean, like as far as comfortability goes, it's not very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend that. I'd just say normal shorts.
Okay. On another topic, next week.
Who's gonna be on next week?
Next week on Monday night, Pino,
Yes,
enlighten us.
enlighten you. We've got a wonderful drummer coming in next Monday night.
All your drummers are wonderful.
I know, but this one's a real special guy, apparently. It's actually one of my favourite players,
Who is he?
myself. I'm going to
So there's three of you on, me,
be...
myself, and I.
yeah,
love it.
all three
Oh,
of
what a
us.
crack
We're
up.
going to have a conversation ourselves.
What
and,
happens if one of you
that's
needs
exciting.
to pee?
Sorry?
What happens if one of you needs to pee?
Oh, it's okay. It's all good.
Well, someone else. I'm not going there.
No,
I'm
there we
not
go, there we
going there.
We're
No,
gonna take
no.
a break.
No, I decided to do a show on my own Monday night.
Cool.
I'm going to be doing some technique talking, some tech talk.
TikTok.
So that's going to happen on Monday night. Yep.
Okay. Tuesday night.
We got On the Mic,
Yes.
hosted by, I forgot her name. So I should get this ready.
caught you off
on the
guard.
mic, you did
On the
catch me-
mic.
you
on the
did ca-
mic.
You did catch me off guard.
Yeah.
Weird.
But I think Casey and Tash are hosting that one. So yeah.
Yep.
Which is a
Cool.
good one.
Cool. Casey, I employed Casey at my school many, many moons ago. That was a long time ago.
Yes, we did talk about that.
Yeah, I know. Many, many moons ago.
And who you got next Wednesday, Will?
I have Rob Walker coming
Ooh.
on the show. Now, Rob Walker we got the Melbourne Guitar Show coming up on the 4th and the 5th of August. Are you going?
I'm gonna try and make it. I have gigs when the guitar show is on.
Ah,
It's the one drawback of gigging as much as you want to is that
yeah. You miss out on
you
certain
miss out
things.
on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's you often miss out on the best gigs.
Yep.
Too.
Yep.
And we get it's that thing you go. If I want to go to this, it's $150 for the ticket and then a loss of a gig, so it's a $500 night out. Do I actually want to?
Yeah.
Do I actually want to go that much?
Yeah.
How much are tickets to get
Nah,
in?
it's not 150.
No,
bucks to get in.
sorry, the guitar show.
No, no. Guitar
No.
show's like
I was-
$700 to get in. No, I'm joking. It's not.
No, it's like $20 to get
I
in,
think
but
it's
you walk
20.
out spending $700. Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah,
walk
yeah.
out
So it's-
spending
it's a-
money because you
It's a
see gear.
$1,000 guitar show.
Because you can buy whatever you want in
Yeah.
there when you're in there. So, and I believe the all the businesses that are there have basically got stuff to sell.
Yeah.
anyway.
Cool.
So I don't know if the wholesalers are doing it. I think the wholesalers are teaming up with some retail stores so that
You could actually
if you
get stuff
like
on the
it,
day.
you can buy that particular guitar through a shop that they've
Right.
teamed up with for the day.
Cool. That's great.
So yeah, so that can basically happen on the day.
There's
So-
there's a lot of guys who are going to be playing who I don't because I'm a guitar player. I don't get to
Albert
see very often.
Lee. Albert
I've
Lee.
seen Albert
I'm
Lee.
actually
Yeah.
introducing him on stage.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
going to be
awesome.
awesome.
He's another one of those guys. He's just always just comes across as the loveliest guy in the world,
Yeah.
and then he starts playing guitar and you go, and he's also the best guitarist in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember watching him on those old
Those REH videos.
the VHS ones.
they're
Yeah.
cool.
They were awesome. Rock licks,
There was Rock Licks. There was Hot Licks.
hot licks.
There was REH.
Yep.
Yeah, I had quite a few.
Yeah.
I had the Paul Gilbert ones.
The
early
Paul
on.
Gilbert ones were
Yeah.
good ones.
Do you know what? I'll tell you a cute story. So we had a copy.
Michelangelo.
We had yes. Well, Michelangelo is the reason why I use Jazz 3 picks, right? And so on his video, he says something akin to, I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I haven't seen it for years. It's like, people often ask me what picks I use because I play so fast. A normal pick just melts around my thumb. So I use a Dunlop Jazz 3 because it's the only pick that does not melt around my thumb. And so my friend and I, Ivan, we were like 15, we walked into this music shop to get some picks, and they had Dunlop Jazz 3s. We went, dude, they won't melt around our thumbs. And then we started playing with them and go, they're actually great, actually really good. And that's just because
And
we
that's
saw
why
this
you
video.
use a Jazz 3.
And I've never used a different pick. Like
Yeah.
every other pick just doesn't work for me.
I guarantee you, if you try the picks that Marchie gave me a pick. When Marcello from Eastgate,
Yeah.
EGM and Eastgate Music came in, he gave me this pick, right? And I was really skeptical, I'll tell you now,
Yeah.
right? And I thought, it's my main pick.
Is it like a wooden or
It's
bone
made
or
out of
something?
it's like a plastic, but it's this resin. It
Right.
just doesn't burr. You know
Yeah,
how
okay.
normally they burr and they melt. It does not do it.
Actually, I don't have that issue with those, and look, I never break strings, like ever.
I
So-
change my strings every gig.
Right, I change my strings every time I get my guitar serviced.
Okay.
They
And
never
how
break
often's that?
every 6 to 8 months. Like I don't
Wow.
I don't break them, and I don't sweat, so they don't get gooey.
Wow.
I might clean it with some Mr. Sheen every now and then, but I just don't ever I don't have that issue. I know guys that spend like $100 a week on strings because they have to
Yeah.
change them 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah. No, I change my strings every gig.
Yeah, can't,
Yeah.
like I don't need to.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky that I don't have those issues.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
um,
I used to use those picks.
yeah, I just think
It's-
this is.
it's-
I just think it's still hilarious
Yeah.
that the guy just made such a.
Then I went to stainless steel,
Oh really?
and they used to chew up the strings.
Yeah, I had stainless steel. Stainless steel one when I first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to make them.
Oh, cool.
I had this sheet of stainless, and I'd cut them out, shape them up, emery stone them back
Yeah,
and
okay.
stuff, and get them nice and smooth, and
That's
they'd
dedication.
be great. And then you'd lose one and be like, oh, got to spend 3 hours making another one. You know,
This makes it like a $60 pick
it
because of
does.
the amount of time you spent working.
It does.
Yeah.
It adds up. So anyway, so next week,
Next
back
week,
on to what I
you're
was
gonna
saying.
have Rob.
I have Rob Walker on. Now, Rob he's the secretariat for the AMA.
Yeah.
The Australian Music Association. Now, what he basically does is, like, you've got all the committee members and stuff, and then they get together and they have a meeting, and then he goes and does all the work.
Yeah.
So between him and Greg Phillips,
Yeah.
they do a lot
Who
of
I
stuff
know, who I
between
know as-
Yep.
from over the years too.
Yep. So they do a lot of work together and stuff. So so Rob's coming on,
Great.
and we're going to talk about the guitar show, and
Cool.
we're going to talk about some of the guests that are coming on, and what you'll be expecting to see there and stuff, and and all that sort of stuff, which is
Awesome.
going to be absolutely
Well, it'll be
awesome.
perfect timing for me. I'll be on the road on the way to my Wednesday night gig at Crown when you guys start talking. So I'll put you on the dashboard of my car.
Yep.
And I'll listen for the first.
You know,
40 minutes.
I've got Marcus Curbin, who
Urban.
Marcus Curbin, he's playing in a whole bunch of the shows in town, you know, the theatre productions and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, so he can read.
He can. Yeah. And,
That's why I don't know him because
yeah.
he's a real muser.
But Marcus, I bumped into Marcus, and he was saying, "Oh man, I don't get to watch it live, but
he's
on the way home, I put it on in the car.
Yeah.
I've got a Bluetooth, and I drive home and I listen to the show, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's great to hear. So until next week,
Oh,
Dom,
Thanks for
thank
having
you
me.
very much for coming.
what a fun night.
It was an awesome
Thank
night.
you, Dom.
So
Pleasure meeting you, and it was fantastic, mate. Awesome.
Thank you for having me in this amazing place where I will put the panoramic shot that I took up, so
Thank
that
you.
people
Yeah.
can see the effort you guys go to make this happen.
and Pino,
Yeah, yes, I know the pressure was all yours.
it was an absolute pressure once again working against you.
Oh, hang on. That was the thunder and then the hail.
Okay, but
I'm
until
always,
next.
I'm always auditioning for something. Like I'm always trying to get like, do you need me to do this sound? I can be the guy on the side of the stage doing that. Yeah.
Crack up. So until next week, everyone, thank you for listening in tonight and watching the show. And until next week, have a great week. See you later. You're listening to Guitar Talk with Will Musig.